All right, welcome back, boys and girls. It's another episode of Baet Experience.
Yes, sir. Whatever floats the boat.
Correct.
Wow, ang deep. Pero yung first mo kasi sabi nila, first time. Diba?
Yeah.
Yung first time mo, hindi mo makakalimutan yun.
Doon
Diba?
tayo na-divergenize sa
Oo.
podcast. All right, welcome back, boys and girls. It's another episode of Baet Experience Podcast. For those who are tuned in, don't forget to follow and like us in Facebook and Instagram. And we're hyping it up in YouTube. So watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So search Baet Experience. So tonight's special episode is brought to you by our friends and sponsors, Bombing with A, the legendary DIY mixes. It's still available in 350 ml and now with bigger and heavier bomb at 500 ml bottles. And also check out the Bombing with A Facebook page for details. Also available right now, they're dual holiday packages, so you can get it for gifts for your friends and sponsors, whatever. And of course, there are corporate packages to bomb through your friends and family's holidays for only 499 pesos. Sobrang sulit. Boom. And of course, Deli Mari Manila. We thank you for the donuts. They just sent us donuts. Too bad we can't send in the US for our
Oh,
guests.
sorry, Kyle.
But yeah, it's really good. I just had like two, and there are more flavors to try. Thank you for sending us. And just search Deli Mari on Facebook. It's a delicatessen and patisserie. So just give them a follow on Facebook and choose from their wide range of delicacies, starting with their sumptuously awesome Deli Mari Manila provided a promo dessert package featuring your Baet boys. So check out and choose from JL's, Iman's, and Edvel's and Carlos favorites at our latest post. So check our Baet experience post as well. For orders, just text 0905 342 4201. Guaranteed to be truly fresh and delightfully made for you. Thank you for those friends and sponsor. By the way, I want, as we say it, uh, paligoy-ligoy pa or dilly-dally.
Yeah.
So we're back with another ultimate artist experience, and we have a special guest now. And our guest is a director and cinematographer. So he's from Hitmaker Films. You've probably seen if you're from the Bay Area, covering weddings, as well as open light films for commercials, corporate brands. If you've seen some content from Stephen Curry, Kevin Hart. And if you're from the Bay Area, you've probably seen his films all the time, Mr. Kyle Henry. Sir, how you doing, man?
Hi,
Kamusta ka?
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
There you go. How you doing, man? You know Tagalog, huh? So,
Kamusta?
Konti lang. Konti lang.
oh, there you go. Actually, later we prepared some. Carlo prepared some surprise for you. There's some. I won't say the surprise is a tongue twister, but be prepared.
Just don't
Yes.
give me nosebleed.
So
Don't worry, it's difficult for us as well. But yeah,
We'll
Yep.
join you. We'll join you.
Yeah, all our noses will be bleeding here. But anyway, how's life? You're from the Bay Area, so from what specific area are you in?
Yeah. Originally, I'm from New York, and then I
Oh,
moved
okay.
all over Atlanta, Memphis, but I've been in the Bay Area for 10 years now.
Sweet.
And we're in the further East Bay.
Oh, East Bay. I see. So let me just share my story with the last time I was in. Actually, that was in San Francisco. I mean, I love San Francisco. I don't call them Frisco, by the way, or SF, or however you, hipster call it. uh, the last memory that I had when I was in San Francisco was I was walking down in Japantown, and I saw a car just stop by right beside a parked car, and he just went down, wrapped his hands with some cloth, and he just punched through the windows and get the bag from the bag. I mean, I love San Francisco, man. I love the food. I love all the culture itself. But that was the most memorable thing that I had in San Francisco. Is
And
it?
that's very San Francisco because I lived a lot of places, and San Francisco is the only place where you can be in a very rich, wealthy neighborhood and take two steps and then see tents of a bunch of homeless people just down the street. And then you take another 10 steps and it's rich, and then another 10 steps and you're back
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
homeless again. It's weird.
yeah. I know. So, yeah. Anyway, so your film work. So how are you doing right now? I mean, with amidst COVID-19, can you tell
Yeah.
us more about your work?
Oh yeah, thanks for that lovely introduction. But I produce wedding films and commercial films as well too. And weddings is just completely gone. About 10% has stuck around for this year, but small micro weddings, 10 to 20 people. But luckily, so to go backwards, things was quiet for me all the way from April to June. So you have months of just crickets.
Yeah.
And then after June, luckily some corporate and commercial work started to open up. So it's not like it was before, but at least I'm working again. So that's a good part.
Oh, that's great. So, can you walk us through your works and your filmmaking process? I mean, as a ultimate artist experience, just to give us some
Yeah.
feel on how you do your work. I saw
Yeah.
your work with Steph Curry and Kevin Hart, the sweat work. I see you. It's a seminar kind of venue, and it's like a big venue, and you guys like making people sweat. Can you tell us more about that?
I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been doing video production since 14. I started in high school and I just love it. I love what I do. So it really just motivates me to do the best job that I can do. So with an event like that, it's a real event, real people. Most of the time you can jump in and stage a little bit of shots, but you kind of have to get it as it happens. So we're taking real life and trying to make it look as best as possible. So when you're working with people like Kevin Hart and Stephen Curry, it's a lot of high profile people. So you just got to make sure you really know what you're doing because they're trusting you to make this great video and you have to deliver.
Yeah. I can I
Yeah.
can I can only imagine the degree of difficulty of doing
Yeah.
that at the same
But
time.
by the way, you're probably the closest thing for us to get close to Kevin Hart and Steph Curry. So
Exactly.
this is a proud moment for us. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so proud.
So how is it working with both of them? Right? I mean, we're all basketball fans. We're not as good as any of the people that were mentioned, but how is it working with Steph and Kevin? I mean, we love Kevin. We watch his Netflix shows and all that. Even his other shows, his movies and all that. He's crazy. He's nuts. So how is it working with both of them?
Yeah, I've worked with Kevin once, but I've worked with Steph a bunch. Stefan, he's super down to earth, and I've shot at his house before, and I've shot multiple videos with him. And the first time that I met him, he introduced himself, so I'm like, "You're Stephen Curry, of course I know you." But it's still just it speaks to his character that like he's still humble enough to like
Awesome.
walk into a room and make sure that like he shakes hands with everyone pre-COVID, before COVID.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he's still humble enough to introduce himself. And working with Kevin was a great experience. It was a long, grueling day. We shot 3 videos in one day, just running around San Francisco. And he was teaching about financial literacy and giving back to the
Oh.
community. So it was cool to see someone that big kind of invested in giving back to the community in terms of like, we know he can do comedy, but it was cool to see him in a different light talking about financial literacy.
That's cool. I think I need to change my perspective with Steph because I'm a LeBron fan, even Iman is. So
You're
now
both
that you're saying he's humble and nice, I mean, it will take time, but yeah.
Yeah, no, like at first I didn't give LeBron the due credit that he deserved, but the more I looked at him, I was like, there's not much you can really say wrong about this guy. Like he never had any scandals. He takes care of his family, and he's like the greatest at what he does. But I think with Steph, he just always has like that like nice guy brand in, and LeBron's taking like all of the heat. But it's just funny to watch those two.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would agree on that. And coming from someone who covers Steph and his family, by the way, I've seen some videos with him and Ayesha you've produced, right? And even the kids like Riley and all the other kids. Uh, so are you guys like really close now, and like you do dinners with family or something like that? Or?
No, I'm not that close. But like,
Because if you tell me, I'm gonna be flying to US, and then
no, like They're always super welcoming, and they know me on a first name basis. And whenever I see
Sweet.
them, they're always super friendly. But I haven't upgraded to Dennis just yet, but I'll let you know when.
Please let me know so I would know when I
So
can buy
yeah,
a
so we'll
ticket.
buy our ticket soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the last time that I went over there, they did give me a bottle of wine from her wine company, so that was really cool.
Sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who had a wine company?
Aisha and her sister-in-law, they own a wine company
Oh,
together.
mm.
Yeah,
Must be based in
I
Napa,
think it's
right? Yeah.
yeah. So like that's the cool thing too with about California, especially Northern California. It's just
Hmm.
you get Silicon Valley, and
Oh
then for
yeah.
weddings, like you guys have all the idols there, Jason McFarland and John De Guzman for weddings, but we have Napa over here, and it's iconic.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So yeah, I talking about Kevin Hart. I heard that there was a story behind your first work with Kevin Hart. I heard that that big opportunity called when you were here in PH. Can you tell us more about it?
Oh yeah, that's the tough thing about my profession is just I'm so passionate in what I do, and sometimes it just doesn't feel like work for me when I'm working. So I have a young family, so balancing family and work is always a tricky one. But so we're on vacation. We usually go to the Philippines about every other year, and we were in the Philippines this year. And I think I'm a week into my trip, and usually I stay about 2 weeks. My wife wanted to stay a month, but I think one weekend I end up getting a call, and they're like, "Can you film Kevin Hart and Steph Curry?" And it's like a 3 video deal. And I talked it over with my wife, Marielle, and she's super supporting. She's Filipina, so she supported my
Filipino
career all the
moms,
way through the end.
Filipino women.
Yeah. That's the one thing I can say about them. They're very, very supportive. And so she was like, "You got to go. It doesn't matter." Like, so right in the middle of my trip, I bought a ticket. The cool thing was I never flew first class internationally.
Uh huh.
And the first class ticket was only $300 more than the regular. So I was
Mhm.
like, nope, I'm flying first class. I deserve
Well, who would say no to Steph Curry and then Kevin Hart, right?
I
And I
know.
hope
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's the hard part because I know it's an amazing opportunity, and I know I like how can I say no? But at the same time, like I think it's important as a husband to check on with your wife and make sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I
Happy
think it's
wife,
good that
happy
she's on
life,
the
right?
yeah, very
so.
true.
She never gave you the look, right? Go,
Oh
go.
yeah.
The
She
trap
looked at me
question.
like
Go. We're happy here. Go.
We're happy
Just
here.
go with rolling eyes.
No,
we,
no, no.
we've been together 12 years, so
Oh,
I
that's
know a
great.
real yes
Congratulations,
and
man.
a fake yes.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you can
So she has that too. Okay.
For those who
That's
doesn't
My
fine.
wife
know,
also has that.
Edville and Kyle here, uh, they're both in-laws. Basically, their wives are sisters, so
Yeah.
they
So
they must know how to, they came from the same roots. So
yeah, she also has that the yes and the yes.
That's
the
that's
fake yes
funny.
and the trap yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
I admire you, Kyle, because I've been with my wife for 15, 16 years. And for me, a yes is still a yes. So even with rolling eyes, I would be on my way out of the door. Like, can I go?
No,
Yes.
no, trust me. It took a while to learn. It's somewhere in between the lines, but eventually, 10 years later, you kind of get it.
Yeah.
Now I need to take
uh,
notes. I'm about to get married, so I need to take notes from you guys.
yeah, I
So
think I
the
think I
first
remember
thing is
that. Yeah.
just you have to be a mind reader, and then you'll be okay.
Well, I think that's one of her talents, Kyle. Maybe not all can do that as fast as you. 10 years might be for me. I think it took around 11 years.
So you
my,
just
my,
need Professor X's mutant skill.
mine took a while, but I think I just got too thick skinned that it doesn't really matter. I'll just get something when I get home. I get
Yeah, but I think I remember that time, Kyle. Was that in Palawan when that call happened? Right? We were was it like we're eating lunch, right? In one.
Yeah, yeah, we were. I think we just literally got on the road and we stopped at our first stop. And
Yeah.
a side of me was like, "Oh, this sucks," because like I'm really cutting my vacation short. But then like that's the thing as a filmmaker. I don't work every day of the week. Like if you count the amount of days that I work, it's probably less than half of the year. So when an opportunity like that comes up, it's like it's kind of a no
Of
brainer. You have
course,
to
of
take it.
course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something
And
like
and I
yeah.
think during that time, the the pandemic, or rather the news about COVID is starting, right? So, I mean, just imagine what would have happened if we didn't accept that gig or that role, right, or that job. So I just don't know what's the, I mean, the impact of that, right? Because after that month, I think it's pure lockdown, and then everything's stalled, right? So if you haven't taken that, probably we're talking right
You would
now.
have been stuck in the Philippines for several months.
Yeah, that too, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but no, that is very true, Kuya. Like from a candid perspective, right, that job squeezed in between the cracks. So
Mm-hmm.
right after that, we went on just 4 months of like no work at all, nothing, crickets. So
Uh-huh.
it was a blessing that that came through because it made things just a lot more cushiony to go into a situation like that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's really, I mean, it's I think for all of our listeners, this is something that we should take into consideration, right? That every opportunity, no matter how small or how big
Yeah.
like that, we should take it as a blessing and
I
consider really
agree.
if we have that chance again, or we should take the chance to learn or to improve ourselves, right? So, okay.
Yeah, that's where you really appreciate the support of your Filipina wife. I mean,
Yeah.
that if she
Shout
doesn't
out to
support you,
Marielle, right? Shout out to
shout out,
Marielle.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, because once you get married, it's no longer like you're making decisions for yourself. It's a team now,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
uh, like a basketball team, if everyone's not on the same page or embrace the same culture, then you guys are not going to win that championship.
Like Golden State, right? Like Warriors.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
yeah, not
Yeah,
like Lakers. Or sorry,
that,
sorry.
that,
Sorry, I'm a Miami Heat fan, so I'm still
oh
bitter now.
yeah, that's true, Kyle. Because especially now, what happened here in the world. I mean, with the pandemic and everything. I mean, before everybody was all about the good stuff, right? You work for the good stuff. Aside for family, you work for the good stuff. With what happened, I agree with you. I mean, you try to make things more cushiony. You want things to get better. Now it's more of like not just surviving, but trying to give a good life to your family, right? And putting aside like having like the good stuff in life. It's really more of trying to make it as comfortable as possible until we get through what's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So the biggest thing I'm working on right now is just I struggle. Like you have your phone with you 24/7 and trying to disconnect, but I'm just really trying to work on being present because when those opportunities come, I have to take them. But at the same
Exactly.
time, when I'm home, I need to be present as possible too. So like I'm fulfilling both roles.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Awesome.
So,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
so
so
talk. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, I'm just curious about the latest episode or the latest series that you work on. I think I saw the post of Marielle about the state of inspiration, right? You work
Mhm.
on that, right? So what I'm saying is, can you share a little more about that? Because I think it's very timely because when that happened, I think uh, the election is very near and all of the stuff. So it's a very, I mean, I'm sure it's more than just a marketing or campaign kind of work or project. It's more, there's more deeper sense to that project. So can you share more about that state of inspiration?
Yeah, that was a very ambitious project. It involved me sitting at this desk for 14 hours a day for I think almost 3 weeks.
Wow.
uh, we had to coordinate between Bill Gates' team, Fauci's team, Stacey
Mhm.
Abrams' team, and then the concept of it is simple. It's just two people talking to each other and having a conversation like we are now. But you have the live streaming part of it. You have the the filming part of it because you have to coordinate multiple video teams to film it. But technically, it was just pretty ambitious. But the content itself was really timely, and I enjoyed it, and I learned a lot. Like listening to Curry and Gates talk when we were producing it, and especially Stacey Abrams.
Hmm.
She led the she mobilized 800,000 voters to turn out in Georgia to change
Wow.
the election.
Yeah,
So
that's a very game changer state
Mhm.
right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like to produce content for people like that, that's actually making a difference and helping out the world. Like it makes it feel more rewarding.
Yeah. So, as your brother-in-law, I'm really proud of you for that project. It's
Oh,
really great.
thank you. That means a lot.
Well, that's family, man. That's
Yeah,
family.
but
Yeah.
thanks to technology, right? That's that ambitious project. It's something like, for example, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, it's like totally impossible. But at least now it's just ambitious, right? Because of technology.
Yeah, so it's like technology connects us and it makes us be able to connect you guys in the Philippines. It's like 2 3 p.m. there, and I'm here at night,
I
and we can
know.
still talk and
Exactly.
have this conversation. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, talking about inspiration. Of course, with all these great work that you did with the big stars, of course, there's family behind it, and I've seen your personal profile. You've been traveling a lot. Like you've been around the world technically. Maybe let's start with travel. Your cultural awareness must be really sky high. Can you tell us more about your travels? And now with the family,
Yeah,
you have a small kid. So how's travel like?
yeah, that's been the hardest thing with COVID, just not being able to travel how we usually do. But going back to my wife, I think before her, I mostly did domestic travel, but she's a huge travel bug. So when we got together, our first trip was to Europe, and then I caught the travel bug, and now I think I'm in 34 countries and she's 36 countries.
Sweet.
Wow.
So is there like
So,
a goal of number of countries to be visited? Do you have like a list or
well,
a map there with a pin that you need to go to?
yeah, there's an app called there's an app called Bin. Let's see. So I think I've been to 34, but it's just like, can you see that? Like, look how big the world is. The
Oh
Yeah.
world is
yeah,
huge.
yeah. So the orange
So,
spots
so
are the ones that you've been to.
yeah, that I've been to. So like, I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, I've been a good amount of places, but then you realize like it's so much more to experience in this world. I think that's only so it's 13% of the world, but we still have a bucket list. So usually we write a list of places,
Mhm.
and then whatever's cheapest, that's where we go. Wherever we can
Now,
find a deal.
I'm just thinking about the numbers. You said 34, 36. Now I'm trying to think like how can he like match the 36 or even go above 36 because he always has to be with his wife. So I think you need to.
Oh, I know, right? So we usually I can only get away for 2.5 weeks, and sometimes she'll go for a month. So whenever I come back home, she'll squeeze a few more in. She's a cheater.
Yeah.
But which travel is you think is the most memorable?
Oh, well, I'm not just saying this because I'm on your podcast, but definitely the Philippines is more
Oh
fun.
really? Amazing.
Really?
Well, it's just because it's like the one thing I learned about travel is you can go and you can experience the place, but if you don't know anyone, you're just gonna experience it from a tourist. It's just the surface. But
Mhm.
like when I go to the Philippines, I'm with my sister-in-law and I'm with Kuya Edville, and they're showing me like the real Philippines. So
Hmm.
I'm embracing it like a
The
local.
real, yeah.
So yeah.
So
Yeah.
any plans
Where's
to move
this?
here?
Yeah. Any plans?
Yeah,
I think I may want to retire in the Philippines. It's too
Ah.
expensive here.
Oh yeah, Bay Area is expensive.
Now, where, if you don't mind, I mean, where's this place that you really want to go that you can't do it now or soon? Not because of COVID, but mainly because you've been, or maybe saving up for it, or it's a place that you want to go to, but you can't really get it to right now.
Um, there's a lot on the bucket list. Like we've done a lot of Europe and we've done a lot of Asia. So I would love to do Morocco, Egypt. So maybe more of like Africa. and then Oceania. I've been to Australia, but I would love to go experience. I've been to Sydney, but I would love to experience more of Australia, like the
Northern
outback.
part, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
outback, yeah. Where the deadly animals are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think my favorite place outside of Philippines was Tanzania.
Mm.
Our tour guide embraced us and treated us more like a like family. So that was the only other place that I got like the local experience. Like after the tour was done, he let us hang out with him and he took us places. So I felt
Sweet.
like a local again. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's so sweet, man.
Yeah. So how about travel now? I mean, with a kid, and she's a year and a half old, right? So I
Mhm.
saw your post, like you rent an RV, and you basically go around the U.S. So how's travel now?
Yeah, like we've spent all this time doing international travel, but then you always take for granted your home country.
Mm.
You don't
Oh
really
yeah.
explore it too much because you always want to go to Philippines and Europe and all these places. But experience in the US and the we bought a Sprinter and converted it. Experience in the US has been super fun. So since lockdown, I've been doing like a lot of camping and nature and just driving to different states and trying to be responsible, but like being more out in nature. So that's been fun.
Sweet, sweet. So, which when was your like last trip with a kid you had?
With a family. Yeah.
So we drove cross country. That's 3,000 miles. I think you guys go by
Wow.
kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's I guess a total of if you was to drive straight, it would take you probably like 40 hours.
Mm.
40 hours,
And
like
we did it.
almost 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it over the course of 2.5 weeks. I wish we had more time, but yeah, 2.5 weeks.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah,
That's the time that you
Yeah.
went to New York, right?
Yeah. So we went oh yeah, Eamon, you've lived in LA, right?
yeah. 66. You took the 66, or
Yeah, so we went up towards Portland because I had
oh,
some
okay.
work to do on the van, and then we went high. What highway was that? I think that's 80, and then we went all the way across. Like we went through Montana, and
Uh
then
huh.
we stopped at Yellowstone,
Oh
Cluster
yeah,
Park,
yeah.
some Mount
Wyoming. Yeah.
Rushmore. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Very interesting part of the world. Like,
Yeah, when I was in LA, I've always been planning to go like from LA, from the song from LA to Chicago, from west to east kind of travel, but I never get the chance to travel. But yeah, it's part of my list actually. And
Maybe
good that
yeah,
after
you
your
did it, and
wedding,
with a kid,
Iman.
man, that's impressive. That's
like
really
Yeah,
it
how
was
how
easier then. It was easier then because she didn't do much. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
she was walking, but she wasn't as active as now, and she had more sleeping time. But now we haven't taken a van trip since she's been like kind of everywhere. So I want to see
yeah.
how it goes now.
yeah, Ava, right? I mean, Ava has her
Yeah.
own Instagram. Guys, you should follow.
Uh,
Oh yeah, by the way, what's her
Ava.
Instagram handle?
Ava underscore Henry. Avalyn underscore Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she has her own travel Instagram page, right? What's it called?
Ye- Yeah, she's been to I want to say 5 countries and 19
Wow,
states.
That's more than my that's more than my
wow.
points, right? My check-in.
When she gets older and she sees those pictures, she must be really, I need to visit these again and recreate these photos of me.
So
My daughter, Riri, she always watches her cousin before going to sleep. She watches
uh
the Instagram stories.
Oh,
Ava,
nice.
Ava.
yeah, my
Annabelle,
wife,
maybe
she get
maybe she's just like, Dad, don't be cheap on me. You take me traveling. I mean, Alpha's like way ahead of me. You gotta take me somewhere.
Get me an
Yeah.
RV. Let's go
I
around
don't want to buy
Philippines.
an RV and went to traffic, right? So it's no use. Yeah, it's no use here in the Philippines. I'll just wait after
I joke
lockdown.
I joked with my wife. I was like, "Are you gonna be one of those moms that post your kid on your Instagram all the time?" She's like, "No, no, I'm not gonna do that." And then technically, she was right. She made a separate Instagram for Abba.
Yeah,
Technically,
that's
it's
what
not her page.
Marielle.
Yeah, she was right. It's not her page.
Yeah.
That's
Got you
funny.
there.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
So-
would
so-
deny it. They would deny it. They just say like, "Oh, I'm just appreciating our kid."
But now it's like a reality TV show. I can't even walk around the house without being on camera because she tapes everything.
So true.
So keeping up with the Henrys, huh?
Soon,
Maybe.
soon.
So how it's like being married to a Filipino? This is a safe space, so share anything you want.
Safe space, but recorded and and going to be public.
If you want me to cut this out for the episode, just let me know, man.
To me, it's amazing. Like, I'm American. My family's Caribbean, so we have a lot of like the same traits. Like, my family didn't grow up wearing any shoes in the house, so that's a big thing for her. She doesn't wear any shoes in the house,
Mhm.
and I always joke that Filipinos are like the Black Asians. Like, you guys love food, you love greasy food, you're
Tell me
loud
about it.
when family gets together. Everyone talks. The aunties are always dissing you. So it's like the same thing in Black culture.
So you know the whole auntie thing, right?
The classic
Well-
Thanksgiving.
The Filipino aunties are a little unique though. Like, it's sometimes I can't tell if it's a compliment or they're dissing me, but I think it's kind of all wrapped in one.
The level of
You should
poker
wait
face
for-
is unbelievable, man. It's
You should
uncanny.
wait if
It's
the
uncanny.
auntie
Yeah.
laughs after. You should wait after that line. After a line, wait for 5 seconds. If the auntie laughs, it's a joke.
Oh, it's a joke.
Typically, the greeting always starts with, "Kyle, what happened with you?" Or "What happened to you?" It always starts with that.
Mariel mom does this. So I used to have a head full of hair, no more, as you can see. And I get on FaceTime with Mariel's mom, and she's like, "Hey, Kyle, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing good, mom. Good to see you." She goes, "What happened to your hair?" And I go, "Well, it just doesn't grow the same." And she goes, "Okay, but I really, really like you better with your hair." And I go, "Me too, mom. I like me better with my hair too." And then she goes, "You should grow it back." And I go, "Well, I don't know if it works that way, mom."
That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. That was just funny, man. So I heard you've been trying to learn Tagalog as well. Carlo prepared something for you. Carlo.
Yeah, we're not going to do the long tongue twisters. We're just doing like a simple game, right?
Okay.
Typically, you just have to like say it as many times as you can, right? And whoever gets it the most wins. So try saying Pasko Paksiw. So Pasko means Christmas.
Easy,
Yeah.
right? Just two
Pasko,
words.
it means Christmas. Then Paksiw, I think it's some sort of a stew, right?
No, I think you've tasted that, Cal. It's
Yeah.
it's like a
It's like a
it's
ceviche.
fish or
It's a
any
ceviche, but the fish is cooked.
yeah.
Well, there
with
is like
vinegar.
lechon also, like lechon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lechon
it's
paksiw. So.
yeah. Anyway,
Gotcha.
Anyway,
not the point.
it's food.
There's no point to
It's
that. but-
I see in the map
There's no
you've been
meaning
to.
about that, right?
I see in the map you've been to Peru. Was that Peru or Chile? You
Oh,
have
Peru.
Oh, that was Peru. So you've probably tried
Mhm.
ceviche, right? So
Yeah, ceviche. Yep.
paksiw is like a ceviche, but the fish is cooked. So yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you just have to do it like Pasko Paksiw, as fast as you can and as
Yeah,
many
it's
as you
very
can.
easy. You can do it, Cal. Just 2 words.
Okay. Pasko Pascu, 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 Pasko Pascu.
You got it all wrong, man. I'm sorry to
You
say
got it all
that.
wrong.
on the first try, it's already wrong. So
How do you say it?
Paksiw.
Paksiw, Pasko, Paksiw.
Say
Actually,
it slow. I see.
Pasko,
Pasko,
paksiw.
Paxcu,
There you go.
Paksiw.
Pasko,
Paksiw.
Paxcu. Pasco, Paxcu, Pasco, Pascu. I've already.
Close enough, man. Close enough. But yeah, you should record this. Send this to Mariel.
Carlo, can you try that, Carlo? Come on, Carlo. I think you can
Yeah.
do it.
Pasko Paksiw, Pasko Paksiw, Pasko Paksiw, Pasko Paksiw.
Oh, you've been practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah.
He was an all-nighter last night just to practice that. So
We wanted to try something
Ah.
different. We wanted like minikaniko ni Monico ang makina ng minika ni Monica. But Evel was like, dude, I can't even say it. Let's try something else.
you know what, Cal? You should give Carlos some tongue twister
Yeah, maybe.
in English. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in English, what's a oh, I think we only have what is the English tongue twister? I don't even know. You stumped me.
Peter Piper, Peter Piper.
Or the
Piper,
Yeah, that's the only one I
seashell.
know.
The
Peter Piper
seashell
picks the
something.
pick.
Yeah.
But guy, what's your favorite Tagalog word right now? Except for
Not
mahal.
favorite.
Except
Not
for
when you're
mahal.
angry. Not when you're angry. But it's okay.
Mariel is teaching Ava a lot of Tagalog and English, so I always joke that I'm gonna have the Tagalog of a 3-year-old and she'll just surpass me. So all of my Tagalog is very basic. So right now, like what's the latest one that she's been? Now I'm having a nosebleed. I can't remember.
I think I've heard tikbalang, right?
Oh.
Tikbala.
Oh, what is it? Anotu? And then
Okay, what's this?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, what's this?
yeah,
Ano
what's
to?
this?
Yeah.
And then anoto, and then anosabe.
Oh.
How do you say this? Right? Am I
Yeah,
saying that right?
that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so your
Yeah.
Tagalog right now is it is it on the level of survival? You can survive in one reunion, Filipino reunion.
Yeah, as in
Or-
literally a Filipino reunion in a province.
I probably won't be able to talk back, but at least I'll know context.
Oh, you'll
Ano
get
sabi?
some words out of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But I've heard you practicing on like tikbalang and and the other monsters, right?
Oh yeah, I was trying to learn a little bit on the some podcasts and apps, but the hard part is like if I pronounce it like just remotely wrong, then she's like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "No, I pronounced that right." Or one word has like a couple of different meanings, so it's
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah,
hard.
that's true.
Yeah.
You could be saying something different. You don't want
Yeah, yeah.
You want-
No.
Yeah, I
because
think
you could be trying to compliment somebody and turn out to be insulting.
I think it's similar to other language, right? Japanese
Yeah.
or Chinese. It also depends on the
Yeah.
tone and
Exactly. Yeah.
how you said it. Like ano or ano. It really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's really different. So I think you're improving, but let's see when you go back here. Let's practice.
Oh yeah, we should meet up, man.
Exactly,
When you
yeah.
get back here, we owe you some brewskis. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. No, I like that. And once this is all over, I'm definitely planning to come back.
Awesome. Yeah. Anyway, going back to your craft, which is film, and just before we end this is probably the last questions that I have for you. So, outside weddings, commercials, outside all those work that you've been doing, do you have anything that where you really put your heart into?
Yeah, so I always thought I wanted to get into filmmaking to do like feature films and longer content. But now that I have a family, balancing that and work is my priority now. So really shorter content that still tells a story. So we've been focusing a lot on narrative commercials. And a lot of the times I find the passion is when we can tell a story in a short amount of time that's
Mhm.
impactful. So whether that's a documentary or commercial, but I've been doing a lot of passion projects this year where it's just short of content that's 1 to 2 minutes, but it's still telling a story.
Oh, you might want to promote all those content right now.
For sure, yeah. So
Yeah, where
like
where
the
can we
main
see
thing
that?
is henryandcook.com is my directing website. It's me and my directing buddy. We've gotten together, two great minds to do directing
Awesome.
projects. And I'll just say too, like for any creative that's like watching this, whether you're getting paid well or you're not getting paid well, like just it's a long road and it takes a lot of like trial and error and a lot of grit and perseverance. So just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and that you're letting like passion fuel you, because like this profession is super hard. So the thing that's going to keep you going is just being passionate about what you do. So like I work crazy long days and I do a lot of like grueling work, but I'm passionate about it and that's what keeps me going.
That's that actually about I was about to ask. Then you just answered it. I mean, I actually have a friend. He's a filmmaker based in Florida. He's Filipino, and we were just talking and playing games. It's Call of Duty, by the way, the other day. And I told him, "Hey, I have a filmmaker based in Northern California, guesting on my podcast. You might want to, give it a listen." And he's been in the industry for quite a while, and you might want to give it a listen. He just bought a $6,000 camera, by the way, to start filmmaking. So he has the money, and he just answered on or can you give like him an advice or anyone there out there who wants to. I mean, right now, all content is king, by the way, and there are a lot of vloggers, there are a lot of content creators in the internet,
Yeah.
a lot of people trying to start their own content, or however they want to go there. Do you have like one piece of advice for them to go into this industry?
Yeah, like my main advice. So I don't do like any vlogging or vlogging stuff like that. But from a business perspective, I
Mhm.
talked about passion like on a creative perspective. But from a business perspective, I would say don't get too caught into the gear. Like a lot of people, I know you mentioned he bought like a $6,000
Yeah.
camera, and I'm very guilty of buying just crazy expensive gear. But what I'm learning is the gear is not what's going to make you successful. Just like any other business, it's the relationships and cultivating those relationships. That's going to be the game changer. Like that's what's going to make people want to hire you again. Like the work that I do with Steph, I came out the first time and I shot a really good product, but I think the reason why they keep calling me is because they actually enjoy working with me
Mhm.
and they enjoyed my company when I came.
Yeah.
So cultivating those relationships and making sure people remember you, that's what's going to keep you working.
Awesome,
Totally
awesome.
agree. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
great.
great piece
Great
of
advice.
advice, man.
So
It's attitude, not anything that
yeah.
that would there's no buying into success, and it's all about attitude of how you treat people,
Perceive
or
it.
Yeah, and also
basically.
that the right mindset, of course, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's very
Yeah, because
important.
once you get to this threshold, they're gonna expect you to have like a threshold of talent before you even can kind of even enter the room.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But there's a million guys in the Bay Area and LA that has this threshold of talent. But the next threshold is like, do they actually like you?
I
Exactly.
agree. I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
I think that works for a lot of industries, even in our line of work, me and Nedville.
Yeah.
I mean, in IT work, it's the speed of trust, and
Exactly.
how they really enjoy working with you, and how they really find you working with their stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree because you could be like the smartest guy in the room, right? But if they don't like you, if you're talking
Mhm.
trash, though, even if you're like the smartest guy in the room, they would just like shove you away. Like, hey, we want
Yeah.
somebody else. We'll take the
Yeah.
other guy.
And yeah, maybe just to share, even in because currently I'm taking up MBA or Master in Business Administration, they also teach you that when companies evaluate suppliers, it's not just about your price, the quality. There's also a factor about how easy they work with you, or how easy is it to have some, of course, requests, and also how is it to get the job done. So there's also matrix or some metrics to measure that. So that's from a technical or
Yeah.
from a scientific point of view. There's also that's really a factor in terms of scoring or measuring the value of a supplier. Anyway, maybe I just like to add in your Instagram, Iman, right? There's a Kickstarter link.
Oh yeah, you might want to promote one of
Or
your
share what's
Kickstarter
the
campaign. It's
yeah.
called IQ Vision Check 2. I
But
mean,
yeah,
I think that's very helpful for me personally as a four-eyed person. Uh, every year I get myself, tested if I'm still wearing the appropriate glasses for me. Can you tell us more about that, or you might want to
yeah,
promote it
no,
here?
but
You know?
yeah, thanks for plugging that. The better they do, maybe they'll hire us again.
Oh, awesome!
uh, but no, it's a great concept and a great product. And they approached us to like usually a video like that takes about 2 3 weeks of planning. I think we planned it in less than 5 days, and we
Wow.
put the
Wow.
whole thing together in less than 2 weeks. And they had a professional video to share at like their next conference. But it was super fun to make, and the product is actually really cool too, like you said.
Yeah, I think that's also important that you really believe in the product of your customer, right? So that's a, that's a really cool stuff that you got there.
And yeah,
Okay, so
living in the
yeah,
valley, man, you must have a lot of customers like that. I mean, a lot of tech startups are trying to get their products to look
Products
as
out there.
compelling
Yeah.
as possible. So
yeah, Cal just gave
Yeah,
us a discount, right? When we create our own startup. So we're planning soon. So I will reach out to you, Kyle.
I
yeah,
got you. I don't know if I can compete with the donuts, but I'll try.
Well, it's a tough challenge. I mean, while talking I've been staring at donuts like for quite a while. I'm like, yeah.
yeah. Sorry if you saw me earlier. I was like nibbling through some small bits of donuts. It was really good, by the way. If you get here, I'll get like dozen of box, by the way. Not
So
box,
yeah,
yeah, not
yeah,
donuts.
That
really love it. My daughter, she ate a lot. Actually,
oh, I
that's no
forgot
more or
to
less
say,
to me.
that's the best thing about being married to a Filipino. The food. Oh man, the food. So good.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Except for palabok, right, Kyle? Except for palabok.
Well, is that considered food? I don't know.
I'll tell guys, I'll tell you the story after this
All
session.
right, all right, all right. I think that's about it. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Cal.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
Kyle.
Thank you very much.
thank
It's
you.
Thank
been
you
an
guys. It
honor,
was
man.
Thank
wonderful.
you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Before we go, we would like to thank our friends and sponsor, Mint Relief. It's an all natural and quick solution that helps with indigestion, gas, bloating, and GERD. With all A Global Care top one in Lazada, so order now and use Baet Mint promo code to avail 20% discount. And of course, Layapure, our official skincare provider. Check out layapure.com for more details. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Baet Boys Facebook page and YouTube channel. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.